Hi, Nick Collier here, and this is my shop. Come join me. We'll have some fun.
Collier here again, and today we have a lot of effort for a small amount of forward movement, but it is a necessary piece that we have to do. When the hub goes in here, we have to seal off both ends of the hub so that the grease doesn't, just come flowing out. So we've built ourselves a little seal housing, and you saw that in another video. And so one of these has to go on this side over there, and one of them has to go on this side over here. And we'll drop that one. Alright, well, first thing we got to do is put the slewing bearing in and get it positioned. And that is not an easy task, because it is one heavy son of a bitch. Okay, ready? Alright, well, then the only way I've found to do it, because I've done two of these before, is raise it up on top of this 4x. Okay, so we don't have to put all of the bolts in, but we have to put some of them, and to make sure that we're square up. Okay, what happened with the ring? So the ring goes on like this. There we go. And we've got, a half an inch of space to get this thing totally centered, and we're all set to go. So I think at this point what we'll do is come in and throw a tack weld here, and maybe one right here, and one over in that corner. So what we have to do is we have to transfer this column into a hole so that this shield will fit on the top or in the front of that. And so the only way I can figure to do that is to come in and go with the screw hole that is closest to this junction right here, and bring that in to center. And which screw hole did we go to? The bottom one. Okay, so that would be right here, center to center.
There's one. And then from here to the top, there's one. And from the side, the other side. And that's about center. So we're looking at someplace right around in there. Little center punch mark. There's a spot. All right, let's take it over to the pattern torch and see what we can do over there. All right, so we've got the pattern torch. Well, we've already cut a couple of them, so it's all set up and ready to go. But I've been experimenting with cutting different thicknesses of metal. And once I come up with the right combination, I put a little note into my notebook here so that I can come back to it at a later date and know exactly what tank pressure and how fast the travel is in order for it to cut properly. So that said, we're getting a pretty good cut, but not as good as I hoped. Let's see how it goes this time. Well, not the best cut in the whole wide world, but it's a cut. That's what counts. that's not going to be good. I can feel that already. Alright, we're going to have to really pounce on this. We'll be back. Okay, well, the curve of this is this way, and I want it to go this way. And so what we've done is we've come in and put just a couple little stands behind this, get it off the table a little bit, and I'm just going to push down on this just a little bit, just until it pops. We got ourselves a little bit of a pooch going the other way. Let's go back over and see how it went. All right. That looks pretty good. Uh-oh, I see just a little dent right there from pooching it back. Well, we can push that out afterwards. I think we can just tack this in place and it'll be okay for the moment. Okay, so we've got our two seals in place, and now we take the whole thing back apart. Oops, that's not good. Notice that. Ha! It didn't take. Okay, but it's still there, so we can just kind of get a stronger tap going. All right, well, it's not too bad of a weld. I mean, what we were going for is a seal, and so we've got that, and then of course the rubber seal goes in on top of that. So that's pretty good. Now we got to come back and do the other part, which is a little more difficult. Well, okay, there's times when TIG is very useful, and there's times when it's very, you know, not useful. And this is, I think, one of those times. And I think that's part of learning how to use TIG, which I am doing, is where to use it and where not to use it. In this situation, MIG is much better. Quicker. Okay, well, it's not a bad bead. You know, it was took about what, a minute and a half to do this whole circle. With the TIG, it took about 10 minutes to do 3 inches. So hey, much better.
Well, Nick Collier here again, and it's another day. And this next part of the project is about as interesting as a bag of nails, but it is part of the project, and so here we go. So the drill head itself goes into the earth about 50 feet, that's what he said. And I gave you a picture of the drill head the other. I'll give you one right now. And so we're making up 6 segments, 8 feet long. So that's 48 feet plus the drill head itself, which is about 2 feet, plus another adapter part, which is about 4 feet. So that's going to give us a good 50 feet. And hey, we're going to drill 1-inch holes every 6 inches all the way along this shaft, and then a couple of small holes on either end to adapt a receiver part for it. So hey, hang in there with me. Please don't fall asleep.
All right, well now we'll deburr the other side and we're done. Well, at least done for this one. I've done 5, so I got 1 more to do. Okay, well the next part of this whole process is to get this to fit inside of that. And it looks like it'll fit just fine, except that this is hot rolled with a seam. So we've got to grind the seam out, plus we have to put a bolt hole through the center of it. And that's what we're going to do right now, is just go over and run a hole through that. But, you know, it is solid bar stock, so that's not going to be a simple thing. It'll be something we can do, though. Okay, we'll start in with a pilot drill. Not too much smaller than this one, but if we do the pilot drill, we save the good drill. I can use the pilot drill and just beat the shit out of it, and who cares? Okay, well this makes 5. We've got 1 more to do and we're there. Alright, well we've got our piece of 2-inch square stock, and it needs to go inside of that receiver. And remember, I said that we had a weld line inside of the tube. So the part that we're going to jam into the tube, we're going to just take a little notch out of so that it'll fit. And then the other side, we're going to have to literally take out the weld in order to so that it can slide in and out fairly easily. So I've got this piece of bullnose here, or this bullnose bit, and we're going to give that a try first off, see how it works. I guess I better speed this thing up, haven't I? Let's do that. All right, let's go give that a try and see how it's going. Okay, we ready? Oh, like it was made for it. It jams just a little bit right there. Wonder what's going on. Oh, it's the inside of the weld hole. The burr on the inside is hitting. So I think just a bit of a sledgehammer action and we'll have what we need. And this wants to be 5.5, or really 5 3/4. Let me make sure that's going to be correct. Yep, 5 3/4 right there. All right, well, let's do 5 more and see what we got. Okay, the last move on these shafts is to weld up this little back edge here, and then to come in and weld up that hole. So, and I think this is pretty cold, so unless we're going to arc weld it, which we might, I don't know, it's probably better to arc weld it. Nah. We're just going to preheat them.